Have you ever woken up in the morning and felt that familiar heaviness in your legs, or perhaps a slight cloudiness in your mind, and wondered why your body feels so sluggish even after a full night of rest? Maybe you headed straight for your glucose monitor, confident because you skipped that dessert last night and ate a sensible dinner, only to see a number that made your heart sink. It feels like a betrayal, doesn't it? You did everything right, you followed the rules, and yet your blood sugar is higher now than it was when you went to bed. If you have ever felt like you are fighting a losing battle against your own biology, I want you to know right now that you are not alone, and it is not your fault. This frustrating mystery is something thousands of seniors face every single day, and the truth is that your body isn't trying to fail you. It is actually trying to help you, but it might be using an outdated survival manual. We often think that blood sugar only goes up because of what we eat, but as we get older, our internal chemistry becomes a bit more complex. There is a hidden culprit, or rather a set of them, that can cause your sugar to spike while you are fast asleep. It might be a hormonal surge you didn't ask for, or perhaps your liver is being a bit too generous with its energy stores. In this video, we are going to pull back the curtain on the 3 specific reasons your sugar is high in the morning, and I am going to show you exactly how to talk back to your body and bring those numbers down. By the time we are done, you will have a clear plan to wake up feeling lighter, sharper, and back in the driver's seat of your health. Before we jump into these secrets, if you care about staying healthy and independent and you want to keep your strength for years to come, consider subscribing to our channel and turning on notifications. We share the kind of senior health insights that focus on the big picture, the stuff that really matters for your quality of life. And I would love to get to know you a bit better. Are you watching us from the United States, Canada, the United Kingdom, or somewhere else? Drop a comment below with your location. It truly warms my heart to see how far our community of proactive seniors reaches. Let's start with the first reason your morning numbers might be higher than expected. And this one is actually a natural part of being human, though it can get a bit carried away as we age. It is often called the dawn phenomenon. Think of your body like a vintage car that needs a little extra fuel to get the engine turning on a cold morning. Around 4 to 8 o'clock in the morning, while you are still dreaming, your body starts preparing for the day ahead. It releases a cocktail of hormones, including cortisol, adrenaline, and growth hormone. These hormones act like a natural alarm clock, telling your liver to dump a quick burst of sugar into your bloodstream so you have the energy to get out of bed and start your day. In a perfectly balanced system, your body would also release just enough insulin to handle that sugar. But as we get older, our cells can become a bit hard of hearing. They don't always listen to the insulin signal as well as they used to. This means that instead of that sugar going into your muscles to give you strength for your morning walk, it just sits in your blood, making your morning reading climb. It is a bit like a backup generator that kicks on when the power is already running fine. It just creates an unnecessary surge. You might notice this especially if you wake up feeling restless or if you find that your legs feel particularly stiff first thing in the morning. High sugar levels can lead to inflammation in the small blood vessels in your calves and feet, leading to that heavy lead-like feeling that makes those first few steps to the kitchen feel like a chore. According to research published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology, nearly half of people managing their sugar levels experience this morning surge to some degree. It is not a sign that you are failing, it is just a sign that your body's timing is a little bit off. But here is the good news, you can help reset that clock. One of the most effective things you can do is to avoid eating a heavy carbohydrate snack right before bed. Instead, try to move your last meal a bit earlier in the evening. If you give your body more time to process your dinner before those morning hormones kick in, the surge won't be nearly as high. Also, a gentle 15-minute stroll after dinner can work wonders. It tells your muscles to soak up excess sugar before you even hit the pillow, making things much easier for your system when the sun starts to rise. Now, if you thought the dawn phenomenon was the only thing happening under the surface, the second reason might surprise you even more because it actually starts with your sugar being too low. This is known as the Somogyi Effect, and it is a classic example of your body being a little too protective for its own good. Imagine you are sleeping peacefully, but at some point in the middle of the night, perhaps around 2 or 3 in the morning, your blood sugar levels take a dip. This can happen if you missed a meal or if your evening medication was a bit too strong for what you ate. When your brain senses that sugar is dropping too low, it panics. It thinks you are starving or in danger, so it pulls the emergency brake. Your body triggers a massive release of stress hormones that force the liver to release all of its stored glucose at once to save you. This is a survival mechanism that was very useful for our ancestors, but for a senior trying to maintain steady levels, It results in a massive rebound spike by the time you wake up. You might wake up with a pounding headache, or perhaps you notice that your sheets are a little damp from night sweats. You might even have vivid or unpleasant dreams. These are all clues that your body went through a roller coaster ride while you were unconscious. It is a bit of a paradox, isn't it? You wake up with high sugar, so your first instinct might be to eat even less or take more medication. But if the cause is the Somogyi Effect, that might actually make the problem worse. It is like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. I remember a gentleman named Robert who was struggling with this exact issue. He was so frustrated because he was cutting back on his dinner more and more, trying to see a better number in the morning, but his readings just kept climbing higher. Once we looked closer, we realized he was dipping too low at night. We suggested he try a small balanced snack before bed, something like a few walnuts or a small piece of cheese with a whole grain cracker. By giving his body a tiny bit of slow-burning fuel to last the night, his body stopped panicking, and his morning numbers finally leveled out. He told me he felt like a new man, and that heavy morning fatigue finally lifted. The takeaway here is all about balance. If you suspect this is happening to you, talk to your healthcare provider about checking your levels in the middle of the night just once or twice. If you find you are low at 3 in the morning and high at 7, you have found your answer. Small tweaks, like that protein-rich snack before bed, can prevent the midnight crash and the morning spike, keeping your energy steady and your joints feeling much more fluid when you wake up. I hope these first 2 points are helping you see your body in a new light. It is a complex machine, and sometimes it just needs a little fine-tuning. If you are finding this information helpful so far, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps us reach more seniors who might be feeling discouraged by their morning readings. And if you haven't yet, do subscribe because we are about to get into the third reason, which is perhaps the most common one we see as we age. The third reason your sugar is high in the morning is often related to the way your liver manages its storage during the night, combined with something called insulin resistance. Think of your liver as a pantry where your body stores extra energy. In a healthy system, the liver is like a disciplined manager who only hands out snacks when they are truly needed. But as we get older, and especially if we have been carrying around a little extra weight or dealing with high stress, the liver can start to act like a leaky faucet. Even when your body has plenty of sugar in the blood, the liver keeps dripping more and more into the system throughout the night. This happens because the liver is waiting for a signal from insulin to stop producing sugar, but if your cells are resistant to insulin, the liver never gets the message to turn off the faucet. It is essentially working overtime on a job that nobody asked it to do. This process is called gluconeogenesis, which is just a fancy way of saying your liver is making new sugar from scratch. For many seniors, this is why even a 12-hour fast doesn't seem to lower the morning number. Your liver is essentially feeding you from the inside while you sleep. The science here is quite clear. As we lose muscle mass with age, our bodies have fewer places to store sugar. Muscles are like sponges for glucose. When they get smaller or less active, the sugar has nowhere to go, which further encourages the liver to keep misbehaving. You might feel this as a lack of stamina during the day, or you might find that your balance feels a bit off because high sugar levels can affect the nerves in your legs over time. But don't let that discourage you because the liver is incredibly responsive to small changes. One of the most powerful ways to tighten that leaky faucet is through very light resistance training. You don't need to go to a gym or lift heavy weights. Even doing some seated leg lifts while you watch the news or using a couple of water bottles as light weights can signal to your body that it needs to use that stored sugar. When you build even a tiny bit of muscle tone, you are essentially building a bigger sponge to soak up that morning sugar. Another helpful trick many people swear by is a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar diluted in a large glass of water before bed. Some studies suggest this can help improve insulin sensitivity and tell the liver to slow down its sugar production overnight. It is a simple, inexpensive strategy that can make a real difference in how you feel when your feet hit the floor in the morning. It might feel a bit unsettling to learn about all these internal processes, but remember that knowledge is power. Now that you know about the dawn phenomenon, the Somogyi Effect, and the leaky liver, you can stop guessing and start acting. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. Just pick one thing to try this week. Maybe it is that short walk after dinner, or swapping a high-carb evening snack for a handful of almonds. These small, achievable changes are what lead to lasting results. Imagine waking up a month from now and seeing a number on that monitor that makes you smile. Imagine walking down your driveway to get the mail and noticing that your legs feel light and your stride is steady. That is the future we are working toward, and it is absolutely within your reach. To recap what we have covered today, your morning sugar isn't just a reflection of what you ate. It is a combination of your body preparing you for the day, how it reacts to nighttime dips, and how your liver manages its energy stores. To help your body out, try to move your dinner a bit earlier. Consider a light protein snack if you suspect nighttime lows, and engage in just a few minutes of light movement each evening to keep your muscles ready to use that sugar. It is all about giving your body the right signals so it can stop being in survival mode and start being in thrive mode. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with a thought. Growing older is a privilege, but it does come with a new set of rules for our bodies. It is not too late to learn those rules and use them to your advantage. Growing older doesn't mean giving up. It means using smarter strategies. You have spent a lifetime taking care of others, and now it is time to turn that care toward yourself. Your body is incredibly resilient, and every healthy choice you make today is a down payment on your independence tomorrow. You are not just a number on a glucose monitor. You are a person with stories to tell and places to go, and keeping your sugar in check is just a way to make sure you have the energy to do it all. Now, I would love to hear from you. Which of these 3 reasons surprised you the most? Have you ever noticed that your sugar stays high even when you haven't eaten for hours? Please share your experiences in the comments below. I read every single one, and our community learns so much from the wisdom you share. If you are determined to take charge of your morning numbers and stay strong, type a 1 in the comments to show your commitment. And if you have questions or found this a bit confusing, type a 0. I want to know so I can help clarify things in our next video. If this video opened your eyes even a little, please hit that like button. It really helps other seniors find this information so they can feel better too. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss out on these important health insights. We have so much more to share about how to keep your legs strong, your heart healthy, and your spirit high. Keep taking those small steps for your health. They truly do add up to giant strides in your freedom. Stay strong, stay healthy, and remember that you have the power to change your story, one morning at a time.